I always look forward to these webinars. I wasn't nervous when I woke up. I'm like, what's going on? And then 10 minutes before, it's like, okay, there it is. So in the chat, while we wait for others to filter in, go ahead and tell me what it is that you do in your business. If the name of your business doesn't describe what it is that you do, then tell me in one brief line what it is that you do. This is also known as the elevator pitch. And if you don't have one, then what the heck? All right, so give your business or profession a shout out. A bit about me. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I am American. And a few years ago, my, huh, okay, it looks like I had left one of the, all right, well, it looks like I left out a slide. No big deal. So I'm from LA, and a few years ago, my husband and I moved to Colombia. That's Colombia with an O. And today I'm talking to you from a place known for its eternal spring weather, Medellin. And in another slide, I had spelled it, Medellin. You probably heard of Medellin in one of those Pablo Escobar movies. If you happen to travel to Colombia, do not mention his name. Actually, my house cleaner is here. I shouldn't say it again because it is still haunting. Yeah, and no, it's not dangerous. It's not dangerous here anymore. When we first visited Medellin about 5 years ago, we liked it so much that we decided to have a little girl. Her name is Santana. And yeah, her picture isn't there, but maybe I'll share it with you quickly. No, I won't. So if you don't know already, I'm the client success champ here at Convertri. I run onboarding calls, I presented several webinars for you already, and I hang out in the Facebook group where I answer your questions. My job is to show you how to use Convertri better. But this webinar is going to be different because instead of diving into an aspect of the Convertri software, I'm going to show you how to get started with social media. We decided to change it up because through my onboarding calls, we learned that many of you struggle with getting traffic to your Convertri landing pages. And believe it or not, your Facebook page, that page where you share updates and pictures of your kids, that page is a great medium to shed exposure to your landing page. For my past clients, Facebook is their second source of organic traffic. Before we begin, do know that we are recording this webinar, and unless a comet hits Earth in the next few days, we will have a replay of this webinar for you. I'll periodically check the questions on the right. I see a lot of comments already. And I will answer and acknowledge all questions and comments at the end of this presentation. With that, let's get started. So if the idea of being on social media overwhelms you because you don't know where to start and what to do, then, or you don't know what to do to get discovered, then I'm going to show you everything that you need to know to get the most bang for your buck. I call this social media for minimalists because if you're looking to have some kind of presence online where people discover your business, this is the bare minimum that you'll need to do to achieve that. Since there are a plethora of Since there are a plethora of social media platforms, I'm going to cover the big guys in this webinar. I could spend hours talking about LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest, but we only have an hour, so let's just cover these guys. Also, after having traveled the world for many years, I found that in some countries, Facebook is the internet. So whether you like it or not, the fact is that if your business is not on Facebook, you're missing out. I'm going to quickly check the comments here, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. Let's see what questions we have here. This Webby should be good. Thank you, Harry. Cynthia works with individuals and groups to help them reach their dreams and desires. Okay. For that kind of, that sounds too generic, Cynthia. That sounds great, but I would just be a little bit more specific with that, if you don't mind me saying. Okay, so here we go. So now I'm going to share my screen. I think Got the wrong set of slides. I do have them numbered. Okay, you guys can see my screen again? Yeah, I was going to show this picture of my daughter with a very inappropriate costume, but the point is that I am now looking at the right set of slides. All right, so we are going to cover basic concepts like what to add to your Facebook bio and how many hashtags you should have in your Instagram bio. For those of you who have a better understanding of social media, I'm going to let you in on what I learned from my SEO friends and the advice I got from the Facebook advertising department. I did actually speak to someone, and that's because I have a connection. So, do you want to know what's the most important metric to monitor on Facebook? I'll tell you later in this webinar. Towards the end, I'm going to give you a simple strategy that you can use to get your potential clients to notice you. I'm basically going to tell you the steps I took to grow my clients' Instagram followers by the thousands. So, some good credentials about me, like who am I? Yes, I know a lot about Convertri. I like to teach people how to use it. But before Convertri hired me last summer, I used to travel the world, and I funded my travels by freelancing as a social media consultant. My first client was a famous fashion designer who used to dress celebrities, pregnant celebrities. I also managed the Twitter accounts of a business coach who ran a very unsuccessful podcast. Unfortunately, I never told her that because that wasn't my job. I created content for a brand strategist who then referred me to her network of women entrepreneurs in the health industry, and I grew their Instagram followers. But my biggest clients were lawyers, two real estate lawyers. One of the lawyers takes a very minimal approach to social media, and there are some advantages for that. I'm going to show you his account today. We're going to check out what he does. As a result of my efforts, Facebook continues to be his and my lawyers, my past lawyers, it continues to be their second source of website traffic, organic traffic. Now let's talk about leveraging your personal Facebook page, okay? So this is the outline. If you have a Facebook page where you post things about your life as a way to connect with your family or friends from high school, consider sharing stuff about your business if you don't already do so. So, quick story, in 2015, my husband and I embarked on a year-long journey to travel through Latin America. We ran out of money 8 months in, and we needed to find work fast. So I bartended in Nicaragua, and because I spoke English, I got paid $2 an hour instead of one. Then one of our friends, a lawyer, asked me to manage his Facebook page. I was suddenly making a lot more money than that. So much more that we were able to continue our travels as digital nomads. I was so happy with this opportunity that I blasted pictures like this on Facebook. This is my new lifestyle. I once said, this is how I'm paying for my travels. And I bragged about what I did for this lawyer on Facebook. It was public. And through that grapevine, another lawyer heard about it, and I ended up managing his social media for 5 years. That's that Caribbean lawyer who I mentioned in my last webinar. So yeah, the Caribbean lawyer, and I'll probably mention him later on. Okay, so I'm telling you this story because I want you to know that your Facebook page is your resume. It's your business card. It's a part of your brand, so why not leverage it? Now, so for the first point, leveraging your personal account, your personal Facebook page, we're going to look at an example of this. Her name is Sunny. Her name is Sunny Lenarduzzi. She's like the YouTube girl. She helps people grow their subscribers on YouTube. She has good stuff. I used to follow her for Instagram tips. All right. So first thing you want to have is a profile picture. Just don't leave it blank. All right. Do not leave it blank. In this day and age where fake news is everywhere, there's just too many bots. So don't leave it blank. An advanced tip is to make your avatar asymmetrical. Guy Kawasaki, he's an author. He publishes books about marketing. he recommends this. Have an asymmetrical avatar. So not perfect, although this kind of looks perfect, but her hair is to one side. For your cover page, also don't leave it blank. With these two images, think about what it is that you want to exude in a millisecond, what it is that you want people to know about you in a millisecond. So Sunny, she's very business oriented. She wants to become like the next Oprah, you know, and that's what she's trying to exude with her personal page. Now, for your intro, this is where your elevator pitch should be. Again, what do you want people to know right away? You have 101 characters to do that. If you want to shy away from mentioning your business, then fine, you can make it more like mine. Here, let me show you mine. I'm not trying to sell anything, but I do want to be relatable and likable. So that's my intro, digital nomad, living the dream since 2015. Just be relatable, be yourself, right? Unless, you know, you like really weird stuff, which is probably not acceptable. You know, like there's things that you can share. If you like toes, maybe not something you want to admit at the beginning, maybe on the third date, you know? All right. So if you want to shy away from mentioning your business in your intro, then at least connect your personal page to your Facebook business page if you have one, or put in your website. So what Sunny did here was good, is good. She connected to her Facebook business page. She says handling business at Sunny. So when you hover over this, you can click on over to her business page or click to her website. Let me show you how to do this with my page. So I'm in my page, this is my profile. Go to about, and over on works and education, hit add workplace. And if your business is on Facebook, you have to do this yourself, by the way. Just type it in. So I'm gonna type in Convertri and it'll just pop up. Click that, add your position. You could even make it up, it could be fun. And over here where it says I currently work here, just tick that box and it will appear at the top. To add your website, go to contact and basic info, where it says websites and social links, just add your website. If you have an Instagram account, add your Instagram account. Add your LinkedIn, your Twitter. You can add all these profiles here. So here, Sunny added her, well, she decided not to add her Instagram account. Interesting. She has a ton of followers. So let's go back here and let's talk about hiding posts for specific audiences. The last time that she posted was a long time ago, right? September 27th of last year. But there's a good chance that she's simply setting her posts so that only her friends, which is like 2,000 friends, could see it. Let me show you what I mean. Back to my page. Let's go to post. Now here's, you guys, if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, by the way, you can. But if you befriend me, I will reject you just because I only make friends with people who I have met, right? But all you're gonna get is pictures of my daughter. Okay, it's very boring. So let me show you an example. I set most of my stuff to public because last summer when I started looking for a job, I wanted any possible employers to know what they would be getting themselves into. I don't post often anyway because I think that's a good way to give people an impression like I have better stuff, better things to do with my time. But here, this one is set to public. Let me show you how to edit the audiences. So you hit the three dots, hit edit audience. As you can see, this one is set so that only my friends can see that. If I want to set it to public, then just hit public. You can also set it to friends except certain people. What if some of your clients are your friends? So as when I was a social media consultant, many of my clients would befriend me just to make sure that they found me. So now they're my friends. And there were things in the past that I just didn't need them to see. So I would put like friends except whoever, right? So this is one way that you can go through your account hit the three dots and just clean it up. You can be strategic. And when you type in something, testing, here on the drop down up here, you can select your audience as well, okay? So again, treat this page, your personal page, as a business card. Your Facebook page, again, is a part of your brand. Here's a good quote. Another quote that I like is by a guy that I don't like so much. His name is Jeff Bezos. He says, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. Any questions? Let me go check questions. Okay, people are telling me about themselves. Oh, thank you, Deb. Blessings to my beautiful daughter, she says. Any questions? So I don't see any questions, so I'm going to move on. So a quick story about how I've leveraged my Facebook page. I once reached out to an entertainment lawyer through Facebook message, through this thing here, up here. I wanted to work with him because I saw that he works with celebrities. So I messaged him and I outlined all the things that he was doing wrong on Facebook and Twitter. I invited him to peruse through my Facebook page to see if I'm the type of person that he'd like to work with. We chatted and he hired me. Never even asked for my resume. Facebook was my resume. It is my resume in some ways. LinkedIn is too. The point is, sure, people want to work with people who can solve their problems. They also want to work with people they like. Now let's go to Sunny's business page. We'll hover over Sunny Lenarduzzi and just click on Sunny Lenarduzzi there. So the same thing, you want to have an avatar, don't leave it blank. Your cover page, you can edit this on Canva and you can add text like this. Canva is it's a free software and they will give you the measurements right there. So you can just edit away and use a bunch of templates that they have. Over on intro, definitely put in your elevator pitch. Definitely, it's your business page. That's what it's for. Add your website here. No need to connect to anything else really. And as you can see, she posts way more often on her business page. Now let's talk about setting up your bio on Instagram. To keep it simple, you can use the intro on Instagram. There are 3 exceptions. The first exception is subtitle. Over here, that is an SEO space for 30 characters. SEO, meaning it's searchable. Use keywords here that people will use to find your business. In this case, Dr. Dre, she uses some funky initials, which I don't know what they stand for, honestly. But if you type it in, MD, we will get other people who have that profession as well, who are MDs. What about FAAD? I'm pretty sure that's more geared towards being a dermatologist. So FAAD, and you'll see other people here as well. And because Instagram knows me pretty well, they will put who they think I will most likely engage with at the top. And then see FAAD. So use that space. It's awesome. By the way, there are 2 types of Instagram accounts. There's a personal account and a business account. I don't recommend having both like Facebook because it's just from personal experience. Many people are trying to grow their followers. So just stick to one. And if you have a business and if you're not shying away from telling the world about it, go to business, because then you get to add a subtitle and you get to have a category, which is the second exception. So she put dermatologist. Marie Forleo, who is an influencer and entrepreneur, she put public figure. So you have that option. Also, when you have an Instagram business account, you get an analytics page. So you get to see what posts perform the best. I only have a personal one because I'm not trying to sell anything, I'm not a public figure. And then the third exception is that you absolutely need a CTA, call to action. Dr. Dre here, she publishes videos on YouTube like every day, lots of vlogs about her life. So yes, she's gonna want you to go there. Just by the way, anyone who's wondering who this Dr. Dre is, she's a dermatologist. She has changed my skin. Thanks to her, my skin looks better now than it ever did before. She's so influential that even my daughter is slapping sunscreen on her stuffed animals. Yeah, because she sees me do it. She sees mommy do it like twice, 3 times a day. So she does it to her stuffed animals. So check her out. Any questions so far? I don't. Okay, so someone wants to know. Maury wants to know, how do you decide which posts to leave public and which private friends? What is your criteria? It depends, Maury, really, that depends on what impression you wanna exude. What is it, the impression that you wanna leave out? What are you okay with your potential clients or customers seeing? For me, I don't care if Neil and Andy know that I'm all about my kid. You know, that's not gonna hurt me, my productivity. It would hurt, it might look like it's hurting my productivity if I'm posting content constantly. I also don't think that they're checking my Facebook page because they have way better things to do. So that really depends. So this is for your personal page. For your business page, yeah, make it all business oriented, and I will go through that later on. All right, Jason wants to know, you can have more than one Instagram profile if you're into different niches. Yes, you can. Just remember that once you have an Instagram page, it's gonna take, there's a lot of work that involves in order for you to get engagement and get followers, and I'm gonna go through that later on. Dinesh wants to know, what if we don't anything for call to action? If you don't have anything for a call to action on your personal account, so you don't need a call to action in your personal account, I do recommend having a call to action in your bio. So you don't need to have one, I'm sorry. I think, yeah, you don't need to have one. You don't even need to put in uh, a word here for people to find you. It's just this is the best way to set up your account so that when someone does find you, you'll have the best chance of giving an impression. But yeah, like, you guys are all using Convertri. You guys have landing pages. Your call to action should be visit my landing page. That's the answer. That should be your call to action, right? If anything. Okay, so now I have a question for you guys. How many hashtags should you have in your Instagram bio? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to answer that. How many hashtags should you have in your Instagram bio? 5, 2, 1. So I see 5, I see 3, I see 3,500, 2. All right, those are terrible answers. No. No, the answer is nothing, none of those. The answer is 1 or none. 1 or none. Here's the thing, hashtags are not searchable, they're clickable. So let me give you an example here. And if you want to add a hashtag, it should be unique to your business, not unique to your niche, unique to your business, something that you created. So I used to manage this account over the summer. Yeah, it was fun. So I know that from experience, they do use these 2 hashtags a lot, joyful little souls and soulmates. The challenge is that soulmates is way too generic. So if someone goes to Living Luca and they click on soulmates, they're going to be taken to thousands of other pictures that were posted from other businesses. If I were to click on joyful little souls, that would be more, since that's more targeted, then I will be taken to pictures of Living Luca, like Living Luca shoes, but it won't be posted all from Living Luca. So it is still taking you away from the account. The reason why you'd want to use really a unique hashtag is to encourage what we call in social media use what's it called? UGC, user generated content. So not to digress too much, user generated content is content that's created by people rather than brands. It's like free marketing for brands. It's kind of a big deal. So here's an example. When people post pictures of their kids wearing shoes of Livy and Luca, who has more than 50,000 followers, Livy and Luca wants you to share pictures of your kids wearing their shoes using these hashtags. And so someone from Livy and Luca will look through the hashtag and see who posted, and then they will share that picture onto their account where 50,000 people might see it. But that's free marketing for them, because what if I post a picture of my daughter wearing shoes? I'm suddenly showing it to my 8,000 followers. So that's UGC, user generated content. Not to digress too much, that's a little bit advanced, but who knows, maybe some of you guys might be a little advanced, right? So let's discuss business page, about the business page. What is the difference between a personal business page, between a personal profile on Facebook and a business page? There are many differences, but the main one that I need to point out to you is that with a business page, you get what Facebook calls an insights page. This is where you get to see the content that performs the best. What content did you throw out there? What content performed the best? How many likes did you gain in the past month, 2 months, 3 months? That kind of stuff. Analytics. You probably have it set up for your website. As the social media manager, you'll use the insights page to track metrics like likes, comments, and impressions. So here's a question. What's the most important metric to monitor? I'm going to give you a few minutes to think about this, and then, no, maybe a few seconds. In the meantime, I'm going to show you a client I used to work with. I'm still a business admin to his Facebook page. He hasn't taken me off. It's okay. I get to use his profile as an example. To access the insights page, on the left side, you'll see insights. I'm not going to click on that because I don't need to share all of this personal information. So the answer, what is the monitor that is most important? Let's look at Chris. He doesn't get many likes nor comments. Look at this. This post here got people, let's see, what answers do I get? Interactions with people. So my question is, what metric, like likes, comments, shares, reach, engagement, of all of these, what is the most important metric to monitor? Think about it. Excuse me. Likes, comments, shares, reach, engagement. There's impressions. I'm also missing others. Okay. Someone said shares, someone said engagement. In my experience managing social media accounts for 4 to 5 years, it has been reach. Okay. So here's the thing that you need to know about likes and comments, is that that's what we call vanity metrics. They don't have as much value because think about it. When you scroll through your Facebook page, your news feed, right? And you see a post from your friend, here's what I do. I just like it. I don't even read the caption. It's just that I know what she posts. I'm her friend. That's what friends do. We just like it. So let's go through my feed, right? So I'm just going to go through. This is Dr. Dre. I'm going to read her later on. Oh, look, my friend. She has 4 kids. She just left Medellin and she just made her way to Mexico. I'm not even going to read it. Not even going to look through her other images. She's got like a ton. I'm just going to like it. Not engaging in it, but I'm going to like it because that's what I do with my friends. Does that describe you? And I learned this from a guy who I spoke to. He's from the Facebook advertising department in Texas. And I asked him, what is the most, he told me that if I want to do ads, I should aim for reach, because reach accounts for people who stalk you. So let's look at through it accounts for people who stalk you, and it also accounts for people who will just glance at it for more than who will glance at your post for more than a minute or more than a second, right? They might even click through it. They might read the article, but they will naturally neglect to return to give it a like. That's totally me. So that's reach. And also, the thing about reach, I'm just gonna skip on over to reach. Reach, what is it? Reach tells you how many people have seen your post. It differs from impressions in that even if a user sees your post multiple times, they reach still counts as one person reached. It helps you understand how large of an audience your brand's message is reaching. Okay, so that's reach. Um, so let's look at these posts from Chris. As I said, he doesn't get many likes. This post didn't get any likes, no comments, no shares, but it reached 39 people. So it reminded 39 people that he's in business. Here's another content. Look, this is a nice graphic that he created. He's just saying Happy New Year. And it reached 100 people, but only 2 people liked it. And here's another article which I kind of wrote. It's called Evergreen Content. Evergreen content is content that has information that's true today, and it'll probably be true in a year from now. He can post this to his Facebook 2 or 4 times a year. It's a good way to repurpose content. Look, it got no likes, no comments, but it did reach 33 people. And one person probably clicked on the article and went to his website. That's what the purpose is here, is to use Facebook to drive traffic to his website and to increase brand awareness. Okay, so that's reach for you. That's reach for you. I hope that with reach, now that you understand what reach is, I want to persuade you to please, if you have a Facebook business page, post there at least once a week. Just once a week. That's what Chris does. He posts 4 times a month. Now let's go to why posting regularly is important. So Chris posts 4 times a month. Did I say 4 times a week? No, he posts 4 times a month, once a week. That's enough to let someone know that, hey, the last time that Chris posted anything to his page was in the last 6 days. He's open for business. Give him a call. So that increases his online credibility. I spoke to an SEO consultant also about some years ago, and he audited my lawyer's all of the accounts that I was managing. And I said, "Hey, Marcus," because that's his name, "my lawyers don't let me engage with potential clients. I just post. It's a one-way street. Is it still worth the effort?" And he said, "Yes, it's definitely worth the effort because Google indexes social media pages." On a separate occasion, I also learned that Google indexes the first 8 characters of a caption. One moment. Okay, so on a separate occasion, I learned that Google indexes, one moment. So on a separate occasion, I learned that Google indexes the first 8 characters um, of a caption that you write on social media. So what I mean by a caption is this: Google indexes the first 8 characters of every caption. That means that you can be strategic with your post. So in the beginning of me, when I started managing his account, every post that I wrote, the first within the first 8 characters, it would say Staten Island real estate, just so that people could find them. If you have a copy caption that's better, use that. Don't sacrifice it. Also, another reason is competitors. So like let's say, so for competitors, let's say someone's Googling a real estate lawyer in Staten Island. They'll see Chris, right? And they will see other lawyers as well. But then because Chris has Twitter, LinkedIn, lots of other social media, other accounts, active accounts, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, Chris is real, you know? It increases his online credibility. The more social media profiles you have, the more legitimate your business will appear online. This is not to say that you need to learn all about all of the social media platforms. What I usually tell people to do is post to as many as you see fit and learn about 2 of them. Like learn the ins and outs of those 2. That way you could know what you can do with them. And it's not even hard. Like you can use third-party tools to post to many accounts. Like you can so this is what I used to do. I used to get the content of Chris, upload it to one of these to Metrical, and just upload it once, and it would just post to Twitter, to Facebook, and LinkedIn, and his Google business page, all on one. So just set it and forget it. You don't have to do it again. You might wonder, okay, do I need to be on Instagram? That really depends. Chris isn't on Instagram. He doesn't need to be on Instagram. It's not worth the effort for him. A third reason also why you should post regularly. As I said earlier, in some countries, Facebook is the internet. So in Colombia, where I live, I pay about $10 a month for prepaid internet. I get my internet from Claro, which is owned by, I think his name is Carlos Slim, one of the richest guys in the world. And many of their packages include like 2 gigs of data, 8 gigs of data, and unlimited WhatsApp and Facebook. So what does that mean for most people? They're going to run out of data. They won't be able to search through Google. So they're going to be in line at the grocery store waiting to check out. They're going to be on Facebook. So the point is, be on Facebook. Now, let's see if I have any questions. Okay, thank you, Harry. He says, reach, great info. Sounds good, Tara Strand. Thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate it. We will have the replay for you later on. So we covered a lot so far. Yes, there will be a replay, just to remind you. Now, what to post? Since you guys can easily Google what to post on social media, I'm just going to show you what I've done with my clients, okay? So let's go back to Chris. Let's see what he has. He keeps it very simple. For original content, he used to write his own blogs every other month. He doesn't do that so much anymore. Here's a good idea for original content that you can do now. At the beginning of every year, I would give him a list of holidays that he wants to acknowledge, like Christmas, New Year's, and other fun holidays like bring your dog to work day, you know? And he would just put a check on them. Okay, acknowledge these. I would go to canva.com, which is free, and use royalty-free images. You can also get royalty-free images on Pixabay and Unsplash. And I would add his logo. Then I would schedule it for the whole year. And because he only posts 4 times a month, he only needs to post like 3 times a month now. So that's a good way to create original content. If you don't have the time to create original content, then you can use articles published by other people. And that's what Chris does a lot. Just because he's a real estate lawyer in Staten Island, it doesn't mean that we have to keep it boring, you know, or mundane, sorry. In this example, they post stuff that's related to home buying the real estate market in New York. See? Because he also covers other boroughs, not just Staten Island, and also about what's going on in the Staten Island community. So this is a good way to um, to just start posting, right? You can post other people's content. His content is informative and sometimes fun. If you're a lawyer or if you work in real estate, like someone here does, I know you just saw, then you can use these ideas. Whatever you come up with will be unique in its own way. So here's the quick recap. The formula here is what we social media consultants like to use. It's called give, give, ask. So you post a lot of information that's helpful. You give, give, give. When someone reads this article, they'll be like, oh yeah, it's from Chris, or they might not be. That's why you need to post your own content as well, right? But you give, give, give 80% of the time. Then 20% of the time, you can ask. You can say, check out my opt-in, visit my landing page, buy my stuff. You can do that after you give, give. You can learn more about this concept in a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk. Anyone know him? Gary Vaynerchuk. Okay, Sidika, can you please rephrase your question? I don't understand what you mean by that. Oh, right, sorry, 8 characters. Google indexes the first 8 characters of your caption on social media. Feel free to look it up if it's still relevant and let me know, but as far as I'm concerned, it is. So here's a recap. Let me give you another example of original content. When people ask me, where do I start with original content? And I would say, don't reinvent the wheel. What are your competitors doing? What are they doing that you like? What are other people doing? Not your competitors. What are they doing? What is it that you like? You can make it your own, put your own spin. So here's an example. When I was working for this lawyer in the Caribbean, my assistant said, "Hey, she showed me an image that looked just like this, but it was from I think Southwest Airlines or Delta, something like that, right?" And it was very informative because it shows you the direct flights to Belize City. She said, "Let's post this on social media." And I said, "No, let's create our own." And that's what we did. So every few months, she creates this. This is the last one, so they're still doing it. The idea here is brand awareness. Someone will see this on Instagram and they'll take a screenshot so that they can refer to it later on. It doesn't look like we copied anyone, does it? Awesome. Going back to posting other people's content, you can Google it. So if you're in the niche of like health, like women's health, you can type in women's health, see what articles are trending. That's the free way. You can also use Google Trends, which is free. The best tool out there is BuzzSumo, but it is expensive. Feedly and Hootsuite are also other options that you can use. BuzzSumo does have a free version. I think you get like 10 searches a month. I already said this, repurpose, schedule, and forget it. You can use third-party tools. They all have a free version. Like you can only post to 3 accounts. After that, they charge you something. Now let's get to my fourth point, get social, to get noticed. We're going to cover Facebook quickly and then Instagram, which is not quick, will not be quick. All right, so there are many ways to get your potential clients to discover you on Facebook. Many ways, but the way that I found works the most was by joining Facebook groups. So let's say that I sell cloth diapers online, okay? Cloth diapers. So let's go to the search. I'm gonna go into the search and I'm just gonna type in cloth diapers. And over on the left side, you can filter by post, by who has mentioned it. If I put people, see, this is what you'll get. Friends of friends, see how you can filter that? But we wanna go to groups, so hit groups. And I've joined many groups before because I used to cloth diaper my daughter for a year and a half before my gag reflex reappeared. So let's go into cloth diapers for beginners. So go into the discussion, read the questions, and be human. Be helpful. Leave great tips. Help people solve their problems. And the more you do this, the more people will be like, oh, that was a good tip from Jane. I wonder what she does. Assuming that you have your profile set up the way I told you you should have it, they'll discover my business, right? So just leave a comment, or you can even reply to someone else's comment. And when you do that, Sarah Thomas is gonna get notified that Jane Diaz left a comment. And you know how people are addicted to their phones? There's so many people that just have their phones pinging, 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 and they just check it. I'm not that person, but most people are. So you're contributing to that, okay? Like take advantage of that behavior. So that's Facebook groups. For Instagram, ¿qué es esto? For Instagram, this is the moment of the hour. There's a lot to it. So here, there's like a method that I do with Instagram because people, women usually, yeah, women entrepreneurs used to hire me to grow their Instagram followers by the thousands, right? So first I would go through the hashtags. So if I were a dermatologist, I would go into a hashtag like hashtag skincare tips, and I would engage with people that way. I would do that for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then I would direct message people. I would do that for 10 minutes. And then I would go to their competitors' accounts, do that for 10 minutes. Suddenly we're at 30 minutes. And then I would, if they had a brick and mortar store, I would do geolocation and engage with people that way. And people would pay me to do this for an hour a day, Monday through Friday. So let's break it down, okay? Let's break this down. Hashtags. Going back to the example of a dermatologist, because yeah, dermatologist. So first you want to find three to five hashtags that get a lot of action, a lot of posts. Skincare tips, that has over 7 million posts. So we'll check that out. We're going to look at the top posts and recent posts. And here's what you do. The top posts, go to the first one. And people have left many good comments here. So I'm just going to like. I would like about 3 comments and then go to the next one and then like, like, like. But don't do this too fast. If you do it too fast, Facebook, who owns Instagram, will block you for an hour or two because that's spammy bot behavior, okay? To take it a step further, you can reply to this commenter. And if I do that, then Miss Kin Journey, she's gonna get a notification saying that, hey, one, Jane liked your comment. Two, Jane replied to your comment, okay? So that's hashtags for top post. For recent post, you scroll down also on your phone. So this recent post was posted 2 minutes ago. And I don't understand Arabic yet. Nor this. This looks, it's called Bahasa from Bali, Indonesia. All right, so this was posted 1 minute ago. That means that if the Queen of Cardio posted this, so that means that she's probably online right now. If she posted this manually, she's probably online right now. So I'm gonna interact with her. I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna leave a comment. I'm gonna read through this or skim through it and leave a good comment. And I might even go to her page and do this method, what I like to do. Like 3 comments, like 3 pictures, leave a comment on one. You could tell your assistant to do this all day. Like 3 pictures, leave a comment on one. And because she's online right now, I might even follow her because then she'll follow me back. In the old days, that used to be a popular way to grow your Instagram followers. You would follow a bunch of people, wait 3 or 5 days, and then unfollow those who haven't followed you back. That doesn't work as well anymore. But I did use that method to grow people's followers. I even used bots to grow people's followers. They were real followers, so I wasn't doing anything wrong. But for Instagram, they've gotten so much better at spotting spammy behavior and bots. And then I started using a third party tool to unfollow people, right? And Instagram sniffed that out too. So they would they would block my account in increments of like 2 hours. So when I was a managing account for the speech therapist for kids in the Orange County of California, suddenly she was like, "What's going on, Jane? I can't post anything to my account." And that was my because I was following people a little bit too fast or commenting too fast. Oh my gosh. It was so hard like okay, I'm going to do this the real way. But in order for my client to get the most bang for her buck, I need to do it a little bit fast. But Instagram was just like, nope, too fast, too fast. Like what is the way? So just be real. I would do, if you're gonna like people's comments, like 3 to 5, move on. Like 3 to 5, move on. So that's hashtags, direct messages. This is a good way to engage with your own followers. Just because you have a ton of followers or a little, they might not stick around forever, especially if you don't post a lot. So one way to do that is you go to your own followers, check out your followers, and just one by one, check out what they're doing. Open link a new tab. I do most of my work through desktop. And if they have like a story going on, check it out and leave an emoji. So keep in touch with your own followers, don't lose them. You can leave a direct message, is what I'm saying. So when you leave a direct message, that's telling, okay, listen up. That's telling the Instagram algorithm that you guys have a real connection. So then Instagram's going to put your content at the top of their feed. Okay? So that's yeah, little extra for you. Little extra for you. Deb wants to say, would you say if I get a commission to sell clients' product, is it better to get? Okay, I'm going to get back to that question later on. I don't think that's completely irrelevant. Kim Armstrong says, you're liking those people's comments. Yes, I'm liking other people's comments too, because when I like other people's comments, they will get notified that I like their comment, and they might go to my profile and see what I'm about. And if you have the link to your landing page, they might even check that out. If one, so what if I leave a comment? I'm doing this for an hour a day, and out of all the notifications that people are getting, 1 out of 10 will visit my profile. Is it worth it? Yes, this is the way to do it. So now let's go to direct messages. Also with direct messages, if you have a business account, you have this tool called quick replies, which is basically saved replies. So you can save up to 20 replies and just use those. And if you have an assistant, then you know she can't really go wrong if she uses one of those 20 saved replies. It's pretty cool. Competitor. All right, let's say I'm a dermatologist. Who would be my competitor? So I'll go to, I know that Sam Ellis, she would be a competitor. And the idea is that if I'm a dermatologist and my content is about skincare and I just want to get more traffic to my YouTube videos, for example, or my landing page, then the idea is that if she's also posting skincare advice, her followers would also like my content. So I'm just going to engage with them the way that I showed you. I'm going to leave comments on their comments. I'm going to like their comments. And I might even DM them, direct message them. Finally, geolocation. This is a powerful way to get people to notice you. If you have a brick and mortar store, let's say that I had a cloth diaper store in Los Angeles. I'm just going to type in Los Angeles and look for this icon here. On your phone, you'll have a tab all the way to the right that's labeled places. So you'll find it that way. And I'm just going to go through and see who's a mom, or maybe there's children. If you sell cat food, or if you run a store for cats and dogs, you can interact with this, right? Leave a comment. And if I have a link to my landing page where it shows where my store is, you know what I mean? Then they will probably visit my page. It'll be discovered. So this is geolocation. This is how you can find clients that way. Type in where your store is and find people that way. Now finally, so that was Instagram. How often should you do this? So how often should you do this? You want to aim for consistency. If you're going to do 10 minutes a day, fine. Do it 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes is good. Gary Vaynerchuk, he recommends 10 minutes a day. I think he says something like leave 10 comments a day, right? Do something like that. Leave 10 comments on 10 different accounts. Be real. I'll tell you what worked for me is when I started doing this for a speech therapist in the Orange County, the first month she saw a bit of an uptick in everything, likes, reach. Very little, very little. But I told her from the beginning we need to do this for 6 months, if not 3 months. And we were doing this 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday. My assistant was doing it because I just got tired of being on my phone. And she did everything that I just taught you. She did 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, and 20 minutes at night, just engaging with people. Second month, engagement went down. And we think that it's because Facebook thought, this feels like spammy behavior because the account originated in California, but the activity is happening in Colombia. So we were worried about that, right? But Facebook should know that that's how that many companies are just global that way, right? So then third month, we started doing the DMs. We didn't do it the second month. We did it the third month. And then everything was just through the roof. Likes, well, except for followers. Followers are hard to gain. So everything went through the roof. Reach was up, engagement. Suddenly Facebook was showing the account to everyone. And I think part of it was the direct messages, but also they understood that, okay, this is not a spam. This is not a bot. This is not spamming behavior. It's not a bot. This is a real person on Instagram. So that was the kind of results that we got after 3 months of working hard. 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how to set up an image for your URL. So you know when you have the URL of your Convertri landing page, you're going to share that URL in the Facebook groups, wherever, right? But you want Facebook to populate a pretty image and a pretty title. So I'm going to show you how to set that. Let's go to, an image, a page that I used in one of my last webinars. So you go to your page, your Convertri page, go to page settings, hit meta info, and give this a title. I already used this one, so I'm going to go to another one. I'll use this one here. I used this demo in my Let's Eat. Yes, this is where I showed you how to create like an FAQ page with questions. Anyways, let's go to page, go to meta info. So first in SEO settings, give it a title. Let's call it webinar for demo social media. Webinar for social media. Give it a description. Okay, so we'll recognize this. Add any keywords. This will help with SEO. Go to social settings and upload the image. We're gonna upload, let's upload a monkey. And done. Let's save and publish. So remember, we uploaded a picture of a monkey. Now let's grab that URL and let's go back to Facebook. I'm gonna get this URL, type that in, and see what image it populates. Populate an image. There you go. See? That's the image that we wanted to populate. If you don't put in an image, Facebook will just look for the first picture it can. It might not be one that you want, so control that. You see that the title, webinar 4, demo, social media is on there, and so is my description. Now you can delete the URL, edit the audience settings to public, friends, whatever you want. I'm just gonna put only me, and post it. There you go. That's the last step in this. Anyways, that means that we're at the very end of the webinar. Does anyone have any questions? I see that 45 people attended this webinar. Thank you so much for your attention. Deb wants to know how many DMs on IG. You can send as many direct messages as you want. The best behavior that you can have on there is that if someone follows you, go ahead and send them a direct message. You could even say, here's my landing page. You could say, hey, thank you for following me. This is what I do. For more tips on how to cloth diaper your baby, download my opt-in page of 10 tips, whatever, right? Since they followed you, it is okay to share the link to your landing page. Sunny Leonard Doozy, who I showed you at the beginning, she even leaves voicemails, actual voicemails, and that, it's not that you can just copy and paste that. She would say, hey, thank you for following me. This is what I do. If you need anything, it's like that personal touch. People don't care until you show them that they care. I think Brian Tracy might have said that. Thank you, Deb. Jason Stein wants to know, where did you put the monkey picture in Convertri? Okay, let me show you. Where did I get? Okay, where did I put it? I'll show you. So you go to page. So you go to your go to your landing page. Go to the page editor. Up above here. Hit page. Go to meta info and hit social settings. Click the little folder and choose an image. You can choose one from Search Pixabay or upload one yourself. Thank you, Mari. Thank you so much. It's a great webinar. Linda Jacobus wants to know, how do you get your IG bio to look like a vertical column versus a paragraph? You would have to play, what do you mean vertical? You mean like, oh, like mine? I use the return button, and here, let me show you mine. Like this, you mean, right? So you need to use the return button on your phone. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. I don't have my phone with me because that's what you do when you want to hyper focus. Any other questions? I can be here for another 5 minutes. to answer anyone's questions. Ooh, bam. Thank you, Cynthia, for that. She says, great information. Deb says, I love memes. Most times I put click to connect and then an affiliate link. Yeah, yeah. You guys, with your own content, it's really important to see what works, because I've had many clients come and go, right? And there's some who would just try everything. Their reach would be high and then it would just plummet because their content isn't good, you know? So what I taught you, yes, so just keep that in mind, trial and an error. If you're doing this for like a good 3 months and you're not getting as much traction, learn about content, learn about white space, learn about design, or hire someone to do it. That's what all these people did. They hired me to do it. Not to say that you can hire me because I don't moonlight. I have a kid, you guys. Yes, if it's not working for you, maybe it's time to hire someone. And with your Convertri landing pages, you can go to the Facebook group. You guys don't know about it yet. And you can hire someone there to create your landing page. Thank you, Deb. All right, so people are starting to leave. It looks like we don't have that many questions. I'm gonna give it one more minute and then I'm gonna bounce out. I'm gonna go to Costco. We don't have a Costco here. We have a Price Smart, but it's pretty much the same thing. They also sell Kirkland stuff. Yes, this is the Facebook Convertri Clubhouse. This is where I hang out. Dan, my colleague, also hangs out, and Neil, our co-founder, also hangs out here and answers questions. That is a good way to get some support from us and also from other people who use Convertri. If you're like a social media consultant, some people do just say, hey, I'm up for hire. That's one way. But another way that you can do it is by being part of the discussion, being a problem solver, and someone will be like, oh, that was good. I wonder what he does. They might visit your page, okay? So support group, we also have our knowledge base at help.convertri.com, where we have a bunch of tutorials. So if you want to learn how to, let's say, anything really. Social media, what do we have on social media? So at the very end, I taught you guys how to set up the URL and an image for your page. Here's the tutorial that will show you how to do that. I'm going to put that in here in case you guys want to watch that tutorial. This is where we have our training webinars, as I said at the very beginning. I'm going to post the replay here as well. I usually do it within 2 days. Lane says, I hope business get more value from Microsoft. Oh, cool. That's so niche. Good for you. So many people struggle with finding a niche. So yes, Karen, we've had no sound issues. Andrea Shepard says, we help our clients close more sales, increase retention rates, and generate referrals endlessly. Okay, great, good elevator pitch. Deb says that she's a naturopath doctor and small business owner for 30 years. Now you analyze businesses for gaps and fill them. Awesome. Okay, that's it. All right, so I'm gonna go now. Thank you all for your attention. Look out for the replay. Oh, and finally, of course, if you're struggling with something and you looked at the tutorials, then you can always email us at support@convertri.com. You can email us really for anything. That's what we're there for. We cover the desk 4-5, meaning 24 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And then we also have it covered on the weekends. Love, peace, and light. Thank you, Deb. You've been an awesome participator.